2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Unloved Games. Today we'll be taking a look at Zelda 2, and I'm Garbitheglitcheress, and with me I have Enchantress of Numbers.
Say hi, Eon.
Hello, I'm Eon.
And I have megmacattack. Hello.
Hello.
And so Eon and Meg both run this game, and I'm in the middle of playing it casually, and I just completed Palace 5, so now I'll be out for about an hour or so. I'll be trying to progress in this game, and afterwards Eon will be showing a speed run of this, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's always fun to watch someone play it for the first time is always exciting, I think.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely enjoying this game so far. The combat is really enjoyable, and I feel like it like progresses pretty well. Like you get a lot of new things you can do as you go on in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I want to head to Death Mountain just because I want to show off kind of the design of that a little, because I feel like it does a good job of like introducing you to new enemies, honestly.
Saying nice things
like
about
some...
Death Mountain, that's kind of unusual.
Well, I just felt like there was like one level of Death Mountain, like one enemy in particular I thought was I kind of forget which one it was, and it probably won't look as hard now because my stats are pretty good, but I think I was at a much lower levels when I was doing this earlier.
People usually are, yeah.
Yeah, depending... Oh, go ahead.
I think it was something maybe like 5, 4, 4, or no, 4, 5, 5, or something like that.
That's pretty common, I think, for going there after Palace 2.
Yeah.
For like speedruns with like in the 100% all keys, typically people are entering at like 411 or 412 levels, or as we'll see later, I'll go in with 111. So
that sounds like it's really tricky. But I guess one thing that definitely kind of scared me a little bit about this game as a kid is that, and still now it startles me some, is that in that town I was just in, like the villagers, some of them turn into bats. And that honestly still kind of startles me a little bit.
Yeah,
the eyes of Ganon are everywhere.
Definitely a
thing.
It could be worse. It could be Castlevania 2, where the people in the town just turn into zombies at night and kill you.
Yeah, so I guess I'll do this without downstab, because you don't typically have downstab at this point.
Correct, yeah, because you need the hammer to get over to the town where you can get downstab, and that's what you'd be coming into Death Mountain to get.
But yeah, those boomerang enemies right there, like, they are definitely pretty tricky, and I feel like it's possible to get, like, as you play it, some you'll get better at knowing the patterns and getting better at fighting them, but it can take a little bit of time to get better with those, because the patterns are pretty tricky.
Yeah, a lot of people disagree, but I strongly believe that the gorillas throwing the boomerangs are the hardest early game enemy you encounter.
I agree with that as well.
Well, there's like the axe throwing enemies I think are the worst. I don't know if they're an early game enemy, but
yeah, so that's the one that most people say, and I find that the gorillas are more random, which makes them harder.
Oh,
whereas the Dairas, like, throwing the axe, the timing can be random, but they always throw it in the same spot. So if you, once you learn how to read them, they're a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, that is my opinion too.
Yeah, I don't even know if this is the right way, honestly, but I don't know, just going here.
I do think that it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit harder to learn how to fight Daras, the axe throwers. But it's once you've learned a little bit about how to fight them, they become considerably easier. Whereas Gurias just stay hard forever.
Yeah.
So,
Particularly, as we'll see later, fighting them in the dark is extra hard.
Even though the game's pretty tricky, I like that the game gives you like a lot of tools to deal with some of the harder parts. Like you have a shield and you have a life spell. You're low on life, so that's pretty nice. Oh, thanks for the bits, Carrie.
Where are you trying to go in Death Mountain, Garby?
I'm just kind of showing it off. I think I've already kind of forgotten where to go.
Yeah, the path is. Oh.
Because you're definitely off the path out of Death Mountain.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of trying to show it off, but I guess actually going the right way would be a little nice. But yeah, and also I guess I can also show off like kind of another nice thing. The enemies don't respawn after you take a death. So that's kind of nice. Good if I went here yet. I don't see any enemies, so I'm not
Okay, yeah, now you're in the right path.
Cool. I definitely got lost some doing this at first, and I'm still kind of forgetting where to go.
Yeah, it's there's a pretty nice rule of thumb is you just go right whenever you have a choice.
Oh yeah.
But that's easy to, like, when you're playing, if you don't use a map, it's real easy to not realize that.
Oh yeah.
And you'd have no way to know it.
I guess I see what you mean by these being easier to, like, predict, because, yeah, they kind of just go the same way.
Yeah, and the other nice thing is you attack those enemies quickly, it tends to slow down the axe throwing, actually, so being more aggressive with them makes them easier.
Oh, yeah.
See, look at how many boomerangs there are on
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah.
That's why Gurias are the worst, because axe throwers, at least, like, their axes just go, and then once you're over them or past them, they're gone. But you have to deal with the boomerangs from both ends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck. Oh, and these enemies... There's kind of a nice strat for this. Like, what I was going to comment on is that the first time I encountered one of the more dangerous enemies, like I think this one, I encountered it in this situation where it's easy to, like, learn its pattern and react appropriately.
What's frustrating in this situation, though, is the axe has a longer reach than your sword, so you can't actually fight them without being within striking distance, so it's tricky for when you're learning how to fight them initially.
Oh, yeah. But this time I'm kind of encountering them at the end of Death Mountain. So.
Yeah, they're effectively the boss of Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fight 3 axe throwing Daras and at least 1 non-axe throwing Dara in Hammer Cave.
Yeah, two non-axe throwing in Hammer Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fight 1 extra axe throwing one if you go the wrong way down the elevator.
Yeah, that's all assuming you go the right way the entire time.
Also, something weird happened when I played this once. Is this the only path to get out of here? Because I think I took another route one time.
Out of where?
So to get out the far right exit, the far right cave, if you go further right from the cave that you entered down into this area from. That's how you can get out. And fun fact about this area where you are now, it's actually, it contains a copy of or rather it is a copy of the Zelda 1 world map.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, I think that having life when leveled up just makes you take less damage. Yeah.
It's defense.
Yeah. Okay, these are definitely relatively learnable compared to the Gorillas. I can see, like, how those can be more annoying. Yeah, I think this is about where I'll be getting Hammer pretty soon. Well, where I would be if I didn't already have Hammer.
This is Hammer Cave, yeah.
Yes.
And hey, Megmats!
Yep.
So... yeah, like, now you encounter these enemies in, like, a more dangerous situation, so it's nice how they kind of gradually build up, like, how you have to fight them.
So I don't think that most people's impression of this is that this ramps up nicely in difficulty. I think that's a pretty unusual perspective on this.
Honestly, I felt...
Go ahead.
I honestly felt Palace 2 was harder. Like, I think I had, like, 2 game overs in Palace 2, but I think I only had, like, 1 here.
Well,
so...
you went Palace 2 first, right? Instead of into Death Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the problem that people have with the beginning of this game, is you have 2 choices at that point. One of them is to walk really slowly through the swamp every time you game over to get to Palace 2 and do Palace 2 underleveled, or walk all the way through Death Mountain, again really slowly, all the way to Hammer Cave, underleveled in that case for Death Mountain. So whichever one you do second, you're probably going to find easier. I think that's pretty normal. And I do... personally, I know this is loving Unloved Games and all that, but that is where the hammer would be.
Yeah.
But I do think that is a valid criticism of the game, that the difficulty scaling at the beginning is pretty harsh, whichever path you take. I would
agree.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, flashing, sorry.
And Kate LibC asked a question about the going right as the rule of thumb, and what I meant by that was basically that's just the path you want to take inside of Death Mountain. When you're in the palaces, there's also a rule of thumb where the boss fight is always going to be found while walking to the right. But that's more of a thing for like the way navigating if you play the randomizer, because then there are certain times where you'd want to go left to find an item, but you wouldn't necessarily know that playing it, for the first time.
Yeah, I should really check out the randomizer of this game.
The randomizer is a lot of fun.
As long as you have decent spatial sense.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I'm just going to explain. Like, now I'm going to go and just kind of try to progress in the game now. So, I just beat, like, Palace 5, so you can kind of just... Where do I, like, go next?
One thing I did notice, it looks like you only have 6 magic containers. And so there are 8 magic containers, and I think it mentions this in the instruction manual, but basically spells, acquiring spells and stuff is gated by magic containers. And so I'm guessing that the magic container you missed was the one in Maze Island, because that's the one most frequently missed, I think.
I don't think I got one there, nah. I guess I should go back and get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You actually have to.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know that like they'd all be necessary.
Yep, all the magic jars are essential items in this game.
Wow.
It does... it does say in the manual that that the old men in the towns will only help you if you have enough enough magic power or something. It's pretty vaguely stated, but it does say something about it.
Ah.
But the implication of that you need to find all of them, or even how many there are, I don't think is provided to you anywhere.
Ah.
You'll get to the final town and they'll be like, you don't have enough magic. Can't have anything here.
Wow, okay. I don't think I've run into that yet, but that's unfortunate.
It's
Yeah.
kind of unlikely you run into it until then, because you start off with 4 magic containers, which means that you will always be able to get the first 4 spells.
And then you usually find the first 2 magic containers, so you can get all the way through fire and reflect just fine.
Yep. So, this is not the best way to go through Maze Island to get there.
I can at least walk on water now, so that'll help.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
just go up and left. No, go back.
Up and left.
Go, yeah, no, up.
No,
Wait,
then-
so...
back
Then
up.
left,
Oh,
up, here, back up.
Oh, okay.
Follow the
So
river to
now
the
go
3rd
left
bridge.
Hmm?
And okay, so go up 1 tile. Oh, sorry. There's a little bit of a delay, so go down 2 tiles. And then go all the way to the left. And then up.
Okay. Yay.
Sorry about that. That was probably especially confusing to the viewers because we're on a little bit of a delay on the Discord call as well to account for that, but it probably sounded like we were talking about things that made no sense there. Sorry about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna be going back.
So actually go back to the bridge where you went to Maze Island. You can actually walk on this water down here. Go back out. So, and then, no, go.
It's
Sorry.
a delay, yeah.
So if you go down and to the left, you can just walk on this
yeah.
water, and you can go straight to Palace 5 from here.
Oh, cool.
So don't go on that land there. You just want to follow that path out into the river, or into the water, and go out. Go turn around.
Oh. I think Garby's going to Palace 6 now.
Oh,
Right.
to Palace 6, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Palace 5 is what you... But yeah, I mean, that's something to show anyways. You might not find that, but there's actually a shortcut back out of there.
It's really cool that that's there. Oh, wow. Definitely want to watch the spell there. Oh, I guess I could also go to the town.
Almost got the encounter skip.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So this
Yes.
is, we affectionately refer to these as the Wilson fences. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah. But yeah, like, I think if you, like, have an encounter at the same tile that happens, you can just do the enemy encounter instead of this encounter.
Yep.
and yeah, the speedrunning makes a lot of use of that.
This definitely does seem like a lot of fun to speedrun.
I think it is.
Okay.
It's a more fun speedrun than a blind game, in my opinion. So if you had fun playing it, or like compared to as a first playthrough, I mean, if you had fun playing it through it the first time, it's very likely that you'll have more fun. You'll have a lot of fun speedrunning it, I think.
Yeah, I look forward to Garby's first time on the leaderboard. Actually, you don't want to go down into this area yet.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, there are invisible enemies, and they are not nice.
Wow, I can tell that.
So there's some stuff over to the east that you want to go to first. So if you can, it's probably better to walk up north around the water there rather than crossing the bridge.
Well, I think I'm already here now.
Okay.
So, but if I die, I'll just go the other way.
Yeah.
I hate these bridges so much.
Bridges
Yeah,
are...
they're not kind. So there's a heart container in the south east corner of the coast here.
South.
Oh, and I just realized I think you probably you're missing a heart container as well. But yeah, right, actually, you walked right to it.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
And then if you go to the north, there's a town we can get to that you'll want to go to.
Oh, cool.
Don't go back over the bridge.
Yeah, don't go back. Just go. There's like a little pond or lake there that you want to walk around, and there'll be a cave on the north of that body of water that you can go into.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like speedrunning with the combat does kind of help with that, with making the game easier. Fun.
So those enemies, doing a falling crouch stab actually makes it easier to hit them. They're one of the more difficult enemies to fight, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely seem like pretty tricky. Like the window to hit them is like so precise.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I haven't put these in.
So now over here there's a tile you have to break with your hammer to reveal a town, and it's near the northwest corner of the forest. It's like one in from like how it's stair steps. It's one down and right of the stair step on the in the forest.
Oh. I think
It's always yeah. It's always hard to communicate exactly which tile it is.
I think I'll probably, as long as it's in the grass, I think I'll find it in a bit. Let's see. Yeah, I think I kind of see where I'm going. It's just I need to find the right tile. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm going, buddy. Oh yeah, I found it! Yay!
Awesome.
So that's definitely a thing that a lot of people complain about this game, is this town as kind of a more obscure thing in the game. And I think there's some tricky things in this game where there are things that are more obvious if you put more effort into talking to people in the game and reading the manual. And
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the breaking trees is the thing that's mentioned in the manual, for example. And you're supposed to find the other town, the like dead city of Kasuto, which we'll be going to later. You're supposed to find that first, and if you like talk to walls in there, it'll tell you that there's like they moved somewhere else that is hidden.
Yeah, the wise man in that town actually tells you to go east.
Yeah. And part of the magic container gating is to make that happen, because he'll only say that if you go there without enough magic containers, and you have to have gone here to get enough magic containers, because the last magic container is in this town. So a lot of people, especially people who play with a walkthrough, never actually see that hint, because they don't go there until later in the game, after they already have all the magic containers.
Yeah. Yay. Yeah, I know Caitlin C, talking to people in real life, I know.
Yeah.
That's a mood.
I don't like talking to people. But you can talk to video game characters, and they don't care about anything, right? So...
Yeah. Wait. I didn't know there was something like this.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything here, unfortunately.
There is. There absolutely is something here. There is no screen like this in this game that doesn't have something meaningful on it.
Yeah.
I guess I can try, like, using a spell. Oh, yes!
The very tall door.
Oh, wow. Oh, hey! There's a key. This'll do.
That is, in fact, the any key.
Ah, yeah. So that's not something that's required, is it?
It is, actually.
Unless you're going to use the fairy spell to fly through locked doors, it is required.
Oh, yeah.
There are no more keys in this game, except for a couple drop-by bosses and mini-bosses.
And the reason they drop them is that's how, if you notice when you get into a boss fight, the screen locks and will not scroll left or right. The act of collecting the key is actually what causes the screen to unlock and let you progress further. So even though you don't need any more keys, that's why they do that.
Ah, cool.
So, for fighting these Lizalfos, it's actually better to crouch while you stab them in midair. It tends to hit them more easily than doing just a falling stab like you were doing. The timing is slightly different for that.
I see. Like this?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Except falling. You're doing it on your way up, but it's a lot like what you were doing. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was better. You started doing it on the way up again.
Oh, okay, so like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a few enemies that are easier to fight that way. For some reason, I'm not really sure why. You would think they would be just like Iron Knuckles.
You would think, but that's actually one of the things that I think makes this game so much fun to speedrun, is the fact that you do have to approach these enemies differently.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I've always really loved about it. Well, not always. So to be clear, I am one of those people who hated this game when I was a kid. I grew up around the time these games were coming out, and I loved Zelda 1, and I was very disappointed in the experience of this game compared to Zelda 1. It was hard. I never really got very far. All that. So I'm the unloving person here, technically.
Well,
so you actually want to go back to the right. You don't want to go to this town just yet.
Oh, okay.
We want to, if you stand in the center of those 3 rocks and blow the flute.
Okay, yeah. So, Meg, like, my memory of this as a kid is, like, just walking around dark rooms and dying a lot. So, I didn't really ever get far in this game as a kid, either.
Yeah, I I played it a bunch as a kid. I was fortunate enough to have the Nintendo Power issue that had all of the maps and everything. And so I didn't have the problem of not knowing where to go or what to do.
I had Nintendo Power too, and I still never got anywhere in this game. It was very hard.
So I just played a bunch of it, and I figured out how to do combat, and it was always my favorite Zelda game.
For me, the pinnacle of Zelda games as a kid was Link to the Past.
Yeah, same. So I think is it like random if an enemy drops or like a magic drops, or is it just?
Yeah, it's by Palace what happens, but in Palaces 3, 4, and 6, it's a 50-50 chance between a red jar and a red iron knuckle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Wang Fu in chat talking about the combat, and yeah, the enemies seem like they know what you're doing, and that's actually because many of them do. We call it reading the D-pad, where a lot of the enemies in this game react to your inputs and not just your actions. So if you're holding right, they will tend to move towards you or away from you, depending on their AI logic. And that definitely makes things a lot harder. I don't know if their shield position, like on Iron Knuckles, is affected by whether you're pressing down or up at any given moment.
I think that there's some RNG associated with it, but I do think that it is.
Going in here was perhaps not the best idea.
Yeah.
There's nothing good in this room,
Yes.
and
Well-
you want to leave.
But hey, P-bag.
Yeah, there was a pee bag. That is true.
I'm honestly not sure if I'll survive long enough for it to help, but still. And like, yeah.
And those
I was
3
gonna
tile
say-
jumps are real tight.
Everybody
it's possible
loves
to make
tile
them.
jumps.
Yeah, it's possible to make those jumps without the jump spell, but it is pretty tight. So
Oh yeah. Also, should I have Can I have upstab now? Like, I think I should be able to have it. Like, was it somewhere earlier that I missed it?
Yes.
yeah, upstab was in the same town that you got reflect.
Oh, okay. I might like go back to that.
I'm curious how you got if you did the clip into the ceiling trick to get the key in Palace 4.
I think I just like ferried that.
Oh, okay.
I have seen people blind playing do that, so it's not actually that hard to do that. You don't actually need to cast jump even to do it. You can actually clip into it without casting jump. It's just slightly harder.
I don't think I've ever seen that one get clipped into, like, if it's a 2-tile thing you can break above your head, but a 3-tile I thought you needed the jump spell to do.
No, I think you definitely can. It is just hard. But I'm reasonably certain the person I saw do that was Sparkover.
Okay.
Aww.
And she got it without upstab, and as far as I know, without casting jump either.
Oh. Cool.
So I know you have to cast jump to get up into that.
Yeah, well, after you break it, you do have to.
Yeah. I don't think this journey's gonna be lasting much. Like this playthrough's gonna be lasting much longer. Heh.
Yeah, Palace 6 does turn up the difficulty with a lot of these blue iron knuckles.
These are probably one of the most tricky ones for me.
As a rule, if you can avoid fighting a blue iron knuckle, you should. There's very little benefit to doing these fights that you're doing right now.
I just want the experience.
It's not worth it. You will die.
Yeah.
It's really like so when they translated this game to the US release. They changed the XP curve, and they changed the drop XP, the amount of XP that enemies drop, and made it so that a lot of enemies just really aren't actually worth the effort to fight them.
Oh,
Including, I think,
150 if
Blue
I
Iron
remember correctly.
Knuckles.
Yeah, I pretty much only ever fight a blue iron knuckle if I can jackhammer it.
Oh. Yeah, 150 experience, though, isn't really that much at the point in the game.
No, it's really not. You are very unlikely to come out of this palace pulling another level without hitting the gem. Like, you might,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be tight.
So this
Yeah.
next screen here you just entered has an invisible pit in it.
Yes. The Canada hole.
Yes.
Come visit me in Canada, Garby.
Huh? I didn't hear that.
I just said come visit me in Canada, Garby.
Oh, well,
so after
gestures at the world.
This statue, there's a hole. You can see the fire.
You can, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There is actually a lot of XP down here, though. Which is kind of funny. And there's a jar to the right, I think, or a pea bag. I'm not sure which.
It's a statue that's, I think, a 50-50 shot at a jar.
Right.
Oh, I don't even think I have enough to use jump now.
You
Unfortunately.
don't need to use
You
jump
don't
to
need
get
to-
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
because it's a 3-tile jump, so it's just... Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do them if you're like you can't do them.
You
unless
need a
like,
running
like
jump.
That.
Momentum
Yeah.
is a thing in this game. Oh, it's a pea bag.
Okay, I
There
guess
we go.
it's the drop later that's a 50-50 shot.
Oh,
Most
okay.
of us don't actually spend enough time down here to remember what's in here.
Guilty.
But yeah, in terms of like XP per enemy, notice how that red iron knuckle was worth 100. This blue Stalfos is going to be worth 70, I think. And the blue iron knuckles, which take like 6 hits at your attack level right now, are only 150. It's just not worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh, those Wizrogues, if I have more magic, I might try to attack them to get more XP. But I can't do that, and that's a game over. But that kind of happens. I forgot to make a save state, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to walk back.
Well, if you
While
want to
you're...
get upstab,
Yeah, you could get upstab, and you could also get the missing heart container that you don't have yet.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not sure which one I missed.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it was probably the Ocean Heart near Palace 5.
Near Palace 5. So that's the one you need to walk on water to get to.
Yeah, did you get
Yeah.
that one?
I don't think so. So yeah, I'll go back and do that, and also like upstab.
And we can teach you a speedrun trick to get upstab.
Oh, I'm definitely down for that.
are we teaching Garby super jump?
No, we're gonna teach. We will teach Garby Fairy Claws
Oh,
because
Oh,
as fun as super jump is, Fairy Claws is a lot more consistent. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. So near Palace 5. Oh, is
yeah,
it? Or,
if you walk up, it's so you need to go back to the west a little bit, and there's a visual cue with how the coast changes. There you go, and then back to the right.
okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely didn't get this one. So that's. So now I have like all the magic and heart containers. So yay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, some people think this game's good, but I definitely hear some people say that this game is kind of, yeah.
Yeah, someone replied to the tweet saying that they felt like calling this game Unloved is a stretch, and I don't know. Like, my personal experience is that most people who have never played it or who've only played it a little bit don't really like this game very much, or hate it, or consider it like a betrayal of Zelda.
Yeah, I think the angry video game nerd may have a bit to do with that reputation as well.
Kind of, but it was a thing when I was a kid, long before angry video game nerd, right?
True, but I'm just saying, like, more modern, and I think as I've seen more people like give it a shot in, you know, current day, they have realized that, like, it's you know, it's not without its flaws, but it is at its heart a good game. I definitely think that calling it Unloved doesn't mean it's not good. It just means that the people haven't appreciated it as much, and I think that's pretty valid. The people who do love it, I think, really do, but...
I mean, it's basically one part of the kind of... I've heard people describe them as the terrible twos, I think. Like NES games that are sequels to really popular series. And they were just the second game in the series, and they were considered not good or like too different, and that includes this one and Castlevania 2 and the US version of Mario 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a pattern there, and people like patterns. And I think that sometimes makes people just kind of accept as a given that this game must not be good if a lot of people don't like it, and it's in that group of the terrible twos or whatever.
So what you want to do here is you can fill up your magic and your health, although you might want to wait to fill up magic.
Oh, okay.
But if you go one screen to the left and then queue up the fairy spell.
So just press select then?
Well, so you want to crouch, hold down on the D-pad.
Okay.
And cast it while you're crouched.
Okay.
And then now fly into that chimney on the house that you're by.
You are supposed to fly. You're supposed to go to the left and jump on the rooftops with the jump spell.
Yeah, so you're...
Oh, wow.
So that's a trick to be able to do it as the fairy, which saves time over the long route, and there's a way to do... It's like... I don't think it's quite pixel perfect, but it's a very narrow window for with the jump spell. You can do a jump to get up on top of that roof, but that's a lot more difficult to do consistently. So even though it is slightly faster, the community basically all does that. So at this point, you can go back and refill your magic, so you'll have full magic, and then...
Yeah, there is nothing interesting to the left here. Now that you've been past this, like, there are people who you could talk to, and they would tell you things that you already know at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or turn into bats, who knows?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, because this is one of the 2 towns where the people turn into bats.
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to go in the rooftops, like, when I was like, doing this. I think I'm just gonna game over. I think that might be faster than doing it.
I think so.
You could plug in a second controller and up A.
Oh, or I could. I'm like, I can like get that working. Well, at this point, it's probably just faster to do that. I'm already almost game over.
Yeah.
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 Yes. So 2 things in chat. One is, have we ever gotten another 2D side-scroller Zelda? And the answer to that is no. Although I do think this is
CDI Zeldas.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is that from Nintendo's perspective, the 3D Zeldas are the legacy of this game. Ocarina of Time includes a lot of references to Zelda 2. And the combat is simpler in Ocarina of Time for the most part, but it is still very like combat-y combat as opposed to stabby combat from the first Zelda game and Link to the Past. But there have been other games with side-scrolling segments. There was
Yeah, like in Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening has side-scrolling segments. Not very much after that, though. I don't know if the Capcom games had side-scrolling bits.
Wait. I don't
But,
know. Oh, you mean like Oracle of Ages? So
Yeah, the Oracle
I know.
games. And
Oh, I don't...
the other one.
Yeah, you want to
Minish,
go.
Minish Cap.
Oh, yeah, I need to go back down.
But yeah. Well, Stars, I mean, to be fair, everybody pretends CDI stuff doesn't exist. Talk about Unloved Games. Maybe Off should be brought on to talk about the CDI Zeldas.
Yeah!
At the very least, Wand of Gamelon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely love to have those if... Well, the thing is, like, actually capturing them, I'd imagine will be a thing, because I hear that
Well, yeah.
it's hard
I
to
mean-
capture those.
Yeah. Valid. And the other thing was something. Oh yeah, Cloudy mentioned Glitch Town. The Glitch Town, which is what makes any percent and most of the glitch categories possible, has actually been known about since the early 90s, at least. I don't know what date the Nintendo Power came out that had it in it, but you're able to get to Glitch Town from the town that we were just in by jumping on the roofs and casting Fairy in the HUD. And they knew about that way back, and they didn't know what to do with it. Nothing really came of it. But it wasn't until people figured out how to get there from the first town that it became really a thing that people actually did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Feasel did do a speedrun using Glitch Town from Darunia, but that was done shortly before people started going there from the first town that you
No,
would normally
Garby, don't
into.
go this way.
Yeah,
It's not worth it. You're not going to get enough XP in here to get a level.
Oh, yeah, the problem.
You just
I guess
aren't.
I can just... yeah, I guess the only thing I really need to worry about
Or this
now
way.
are, like, getting...
Yeah.
Don't go
Oh,
this
just want
way.
to go down that.
Bosses.
You just want to go down the elevator.
Just down the elevator, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And also you were going to set a save state, right?
Oh! Yeah, that's a good idea. This is taking long. Okay, there we go.
There are a lot of paths in Palace 5 and 6 that are just a bad idea to go down. And even if they have a P-bag at the end of them, a P-bag doesn't help you if you game over, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of the time just not worth it at all.
Yeah, I forgot these were invincible to fire. Okay. Well, there's much I can do to avoid that.
You can make
Unless-
this jump without jump.
Yeah. 4-tile jumps are tight, but possible.
Oh, yeah.
There is also a trick people do to damage boost across this. If you just run, and okay, or that.
Yeah.
If you
I just
jackhammer
like
over
this.
the blue iron knuckle, like not jackhammer, but just downstab over it through the overhang, you will hit it and make it enrage, and then if you just jump across the gaps, it will actually shoot a sword that will knock you across the rest of the way, which is a speedrunning strat in that room.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I hate that strat.
I love that strat.
anything to avoid having to deal with blue iron knuckles.
Yeah. So the other strat is to jackhammer it, which is a thing that you can do to blue iron knuckles under when they're under to block overhang.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this is the Canada hole room again.
And it's after the third statue that you have two. There are 2 tiles on the floor that you can walk on, and then after that, it's 4 tiles of invisible hole.
You want to cast jump.
Yeah.
And do not cast fairy.
Do not cast
What?
fairy.
I was going to!
You cannot get through this room with the fairy.
So I don't want to go in the Canada hole?
You absolutely
you
don't.
want to jump over it.
Okay, so 2 tiles I can be on, and then I need to jump.
And you have to cast jump. You don't have to, but you
That
did
would have
it.
helped.
Oh,
yeah.
you made it without the jump spell.
Yeah.
Yay!
That is
So
that is a risk most speedrunners don't take.
Yeah. So, as to why that's called the Canadian hole or the Canada hole, that came from, I believe, the 2015 100% All Keys tournament. There were a number of Canadian participants in that tournament, and through the course of it, they all kind of fell into the hole in races. And so one of the Canadians, and I forget which one it was, but one of them started referring to it as the Canadian hole since all the Canadians were falling down into it.
Oh, okay. So just kind of, and also I guess get your ECC Revo Sharks. Even though I just completed that boss. Yay! So what does that do?
So if you remember when you were in the graveyard encounter where there were invisible enemies harming you, the cross lets you see those.
There is a jar. Oh, never mind. There is a jar chance in that statue before the Canada hole.
Oh, okay.
And so now your only choice is to go left and get out of the Canada hole. There is nothing in here except a bunch of enemies and a pea bag.
But I think the pea bag does not respawn since you got it last time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I can also cast Reflect on these to get more experience, but I don't think it's really worth the magic. I don't think I have enough anyways. Nah.
Yeah, I think it's 1.5 boxes of magic for Reflect right now, or maybe it's 2. 24, it's 1.5.
Yeah.
Each box is 16 MP, so...
Oh, yeah.
This is another not worth it fight. It would have been better to cast jump so you had a guaranteed way out of here.
Oh yeah, jump is less sexy. Yeah.
You can make this jump. There you go. Okay. So you are back where you were, and to the right is the Canada hole room, and to the left is back towards the beginning of the palace.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, and this is where you want to be going right now.
Yep.
Okay. So, I
deeply dislike the turrets in this game. They
are
are extremely unfair in their how they aim and how they're paced.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm not really a fan of those.
You kind of, after speedrunning for a while, you kind of learn how to jump through them more reliably, but it's hard in a room like this, which is called the WizCon room a lot of the time.
Ah.
So if you just jump over this guy and down stab after he's done enraging, you can just go past him and then just fall down this pit.
Oh, that's...
And
Oh,
go down,
is that...
go down 2. And then to the right.
Yeah, to the right now.
Okay, cool. So, like...
And even if you'd missed that, you would have looped. Just jump over him. Just go over
Yeah,
him.
just down stab over him.
Not worth it. Never worth it.
I'm just so used to wanting XP, but I guess it's not really worth it. I'm not really close to another level.
Okay, so this room is another... Stop here. Don't leave this platform.
And don't scroll too far back to the left while you're on it.
You want to kill these. You do not want to try
okay.
and keep going in this room without killing them.
Okay.
A lot of people will try to do this room over and over again, getting knocked into lava over and over again by these guys. No, go back. See, that's exactly what I was saying.
Hey, it's a good thing I made a save state.
Did you? How many lives did you have on the save state?
I didn't think... I thought I had 2 lives left. But...
You have to go get the cross again. Because your save state doesn't have the cross.
Yeah, I do. At least
so
I can
just jump over this guy and down stab. And if you'd kept going, you could have done the damage boost.
So it's okay, you can just keep falling and you'll loop back to where you were.
Or you can go to the boss now and do the item after.
Yeah. Either way.
No.
Yeah.
Go back. Go
one more time you need to fall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think this time I'll save state after, like, doing the thing. I didn't want to do that. That's one of the jar chances, isn't it?
Yep.
It is, yes.
You will sometimes see people, if they're really desperate to keep a run going, loop that pit over and over again, trying to find a jar out of that.
I don't have enough for fairy, I don't think. No, so I'm actually going to do that because I think I'll need it. Or wait, no, I don't want it. So it's like I thought I was going to need to cast fairy for the room coming up, but I need to cast jump and I can't cast fairy. Is how that worked. So I have plenty of XP or magic.
You can just break the third block up here, and just.
Oh yeah, that's right.
These are breakable blocks.
Oh yeah. So I think I have exactly enough to cast jump twice, but I'm not gonna risk on all max. It's like I have 1.5. Like it uses 3/4. I'm just gonna use jump. So I'll have like exactly enough to cast jump in the next area. So the third one. Oh wait, I don't. Heck. But
if you jump at the edge of the second tile after the statue, you can make it.
This statue, none of these statues have jar chances. It's only the last one after the pit.
Yes.
Oh yay!
Hey, you made it. So that last one does have a jar chance if you want to check that last statue.
I think I'll get the... I don't know if I need, like, any magic for now, so I think I may just get the cross and then do that. Oh, okay. Right, this was this battle. This is a little worrying. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Okay. So get that key. And this, and I'll make a save state so that even if I get game over, it'll be okay. Oh, I got on a magic back as well, so so that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess I can just cast Fairy. I guess, wait, there is one thing I can do to make sure I actually keep... Wait, no, that's an...
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance. For... As long as you don't... Yeah, okay. That works too. I was gonna say, if you don't, kill the Iron Knuckle, you can check it again by leaving the room and coming back.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, do that. Like, just head on. I think I should... And so now I'll be heading back to the left, and yeah.
The sort of tricky thing is that you will be needing more magic in this palace.
Yes.
Quite a lot, actually.
So it might be good to loop the infinite pit to try to get magic from that statue.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So don't try to fight this. Yay. And so jump. So I go down twice here.
Yep. To the right.
Oh, to the right, yeah. Yeah, these definitely aren't worth fighting. I haven't ever gotten like a consistent pattern for this. Okay, this part.
Yeah, so you definitely want to stay on the wide platform coming up with the lip on the left. Because this one will just keep respawning if you try to kill it here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you need to go to the right here.
Okay. Sure to get that.
Okay.
Is it safe to go now?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, wow, that was actually... It's bad.
So, the thing about casting Fairy in the Canada Hole Room is a pretty common thing in this game where the right, or the further edge of the screen is blocked by a wall of blocks, and that is exactly what that is. It's literally there to prevent you from just ferrying past the room. Like it's a deliberate design decision.
Oh, wow.
And this is the room that makes Fairy absolutely required in this palace.
One of two rooms that does that.
Yeah, there are actually two, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that is why you need a lot of magic in this palace.
Oh, yeah.
Though your leveling choices have helped on that front, being Magic 7 here is pretty nice.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the leveling system, how attack always costs most, kind of made it so I always did, like, life then magic attack.
Yeah, that's how they designed it, and which is not how... That's often how people play casually, but that's not how we speedrun it.
Yeah.
In the Famicom Disk System version, the leveling system is completely different, and you actually get the cost of the levels is based on the number of levels that you have taken so far, no matter which one you choose.
Oh, okay.
So there's no like guidance in the game to use one particular level or another.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They are also generally a lot cheaper than they are in this version.
Oh, yeah.
So one thing coming up here, you probably want to cast... There's a 1-up on the right side of this pit. If you jump over there, you can get that, and you're gonna need more magic, so it's probably best to get the 1-up and then take a death abuse.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
down stab over the blue iron knuckle. Keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Down stab right over him, and then go. Get the 1-up,
Yay.
and yeah, let him kill you.
And then just let him kill you.
Yep.
Okay, so now I have more lives. Yay.
More speedrun strats.
So
Yes.
should I
yeah.
just fall down here? Or...
Queue up the fairy spell first, because you'll want to cast it on the next screen.
Oh, okay. So don't actually use the fairy, but just do that.
Yeah, just get it ready so when you fall down to the next screen, you can cast it.
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll want to cast it immediately upon being on the next screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll fall through that pit into another spot and then you'll have to loop back to get up to where you were. So.
And
Oh.
welcome to the boss.
So is fire effective against this?
Nope.
No. So the reflect the boss shoots fire, and the reflect spell lets you block the fire. The shield spell will reduce damage, and the jump spell may also be helpful.
And so yeah. I guess I'll use so I think.
So
Probably after this, I'll be letting Eon play.
this boss is called Barba in the US release, but is called Volvagia in the original Japanese. Although it also looks different. But that's one of the Ocarina of Time references I was talking about, where Volvagia is the Fire Temple boss, I believe, in Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's why I say that I think that the 3D games are kind of what Nintendo saw as the legacy of this game.
So, fun fact about this room, Barba has a 3/8 chance to spawn in the far left pit and a 3/8 chance to spawn in the far right pit, and only a 2/8 chance to spawn in the center pit.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I did not know that.
I only recently learned that.
Ah, that's cool. And so that's Palace 6 down, so... Yay! So
Claudia
we just
asks-
have Grand Palace...
Isn't Barba taller in FPS? And I don't know the answer to that, actually. It definitely looks taller.
I think so, and also the AI is different where Barba goes up and then shoots fire and immediately goes back down. Like it's not up and vulnerable for nearly as long at a time. So
it also looks like more like a snake that's popping out of one of those like cans of snakes.
Yeah.
I think the original design looks pretty silly, personally.
Wow, what a heckin' rude game.
Yeah, it's probably best to ferry over this.
Yes.
So I'm thinking now might be a good time for me to kind of wrap up my session of playing this and let Eon do a speedrun of this, but yeah.
Yeah, if you want to grab the Thunder Spell while you're here, you can.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and grab the Thunder Spell, then I think I'll be finished. Oh, wow, game!
Yeah.
This game is not
So,
polite.
if you didn't have the cross, you would not have been able to see that enemy.
Ah, yeah.
And you're supposed to come here first, before you go to Palace 6, before you go to the other town down here.
Oh my gosh!
And this wizard will tell you that you don't have enough magic containers, and you need to go east and find the new Kasuto town. And that's how you're supposed to find that town.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the invincible enemies definitely seem like they don't make this too kind of a place.
There's
you can
really
look
nothing
more in
else
here.
for you here.
If you go into one of these doors and talk to a wall, it'll probably tell you something. Most of these have, like, if you just stab around in this room somewhere, something should pop up eventually. I'm actually not sure which houses have stuff in them and which don't.
Yeah, this room may not have anything. But it's like 3 screen. I don't know. Is it 2 or 3 screens? I can't remember.
I
But
feel like
whatever it
there's
is,
3 that have. Or
it's just all of that.
Yeah.
So,
it's the dead town. They all abandoned it because of the MOAs that are now occupying it.
Yeah. So I think now I'm just gonna game over so that I can like save, and I think that'll wrap up my session of playing this. So that was a lot of fun though, and thank you so much for all the help, Beyond and Meg, and it was really fun chatting with y'all with this game.
yeah.
But
and
to
hope
be
you
clear,
finish it.
don't go anywhere. People are watching. This is not the end of the the night.
Yeah, it's not the end of the night. So coming up next, Enchantress of Numbers will be doing a 100% no major glitches run of this game, so be sure to stick around.
Yep. We are going to switch away to the up next screen really briefly while we get that set up, and we will be right back. Two, one.
And we're back. So I'm Enchantress of Numbers, as you all know, and I'm going to be doing 100% no major glitches, and Garby and Meg are going to hang out and talk, and we'll chat about what goes on with the speedrun and stuff. So, I don't know, are you having a timer on there, or
We can.
do I need
Absolutely.
to count? Do I need to count things down for that?
Yes, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
Alright, so time starts approximately 3 seconds after I select my file here, so I'll do my best at counting it down.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thanks. So, the first thing that we're actually going to do in this is got a little bit of fetch questing to do, but then instead of going to Palace 1 to get the candle, we're actually going to go straight into Death Mountain. So, if you remember Garby doing that with 677 levels, I'll be going in there with 111 levels and no candle, so...
Oh no! Oh, you're
and
getting
this is-
shield. This is shield, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm getting the shield spell because fighting gorillas in the dark is real rude. So, and since this is 100%, you have to get it. It is technically slightly faster to get it later, just because it saves a little bit of menu time. But honestly, since I haven't really been grinding this category lately, I'd rather have the survivability than the, like, half a second that it saves.
Yeah.
The any percent no major glitches category does not optimally get shield or life.
Correct.
Or any real defensive spell, and does similar things, including Dark Death Mountain.
Yes. I messed up the timing on that jump. Okay. Why is my timing real bad? Okay.
And
But you can use like
Correct.
up A to restart from the beginning. Restart from the beginning without having the game over on the second
Correct.
controller.
Yeah, so I have a second controller plugged in, and what happens is if you, when you have the pause menu up or are paused on the overworld, if you press up A on the second controller, it triggers that save and continue screen. So this was common actually for Nintendo games on the NES. They had didn't have quite as many buttons on the controller, and so like Zelda 1 does this. I believe Metroid also does this.
yes.
I'm not sure if there are any others, but those are the three big ones I can think of.
I think Kid Icarus.
Ah, cool.
But,
Yeah,
Not 100%
was-
sure about that.
Yeah, and I hadn't heard that about Kid Icarus, but I'd believe it with the engine similarities to Metroid.
Yeah. Kid Icarus was a side project of the the Metroid project, as far as I understand.
Yeah, you can save if you don't buy another controller, but you have to game over. And also when the NES was new, it actually, unlike modern consoles, it came with two controllers.
Yep.
oh, cool.
In fact, my NES back in the day was bundled with two controllers, the Zapper, and Mario Brothers Duck Hunt cart. So, a lot of value.
And yeah, those like gorillas were pretty quick to kill if you have like attack level 6. But here it takes Eon a lot of hits to
Yes.
kill the gorillas.
That package was very common. That was the most common bundle that they sold. They also sold one with the power pad, and like the track and field game. I don't remember what its exact title was, but
World class track meet.
yeah. I never
I'm gonna
knew
get a
anyone
little
who had that.
safety. I got that fairy to refill my life, and then I messed up my inputs there, but I'm gonna get... well, that turned out not to be very worth it. But I'm gonna get this one up here as well.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let's get that fairy.
Ah.
So, not the most efficient speedrun, but yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
That's surprising to me, Kate, because I legitimately do not remember there ever being a non-bundled NES package. Maybe they bought it secondhand?
Yeah, or if there was, like when they released the top-loading NES, that probably didn't have a bundle.
That might have had only one controller and no game.
Okay, so we had to talk to Bagu. Gonna try not to die in this bridge. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so this is probably one of the things that on a casual playthrough is a lot harder to figure out. Like, you have to figure out to do a lot of stuff here. Like, you need to figure out that has, like, a mirror.
Yes, so if you talk to this woman before getting the mirror, she tells you that she lost her mirror, and so then there's not really any other hints as to where to find it. So that's also frustrating for a first playthrough.
Yeah, there was a lot of... I feel like in a lot of NES games, there was a lot of hinting at things by lack of something. That house with the mirror is suspicious because it has nothing in it. No one has actually nothing to do. And that was a pretty common design pattern in game design at the time, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's something you still see used today. If you see a room in a game that doesn't have anything in it, it feels like, well, there's got to be a secret here.
Yeah, I think people have a different expectation about older games, though, weirdly, where they think that that isn't a thing. They think that there's a lot of stuff in them that has nothing in it or something. I don't know. I watching a lot of people play NES games blind on Twitch, I have been surprised by the ways that they approach them a lot of the time. Coming as someone who played them when they came out. I think a lot of the time people come at older games with this assumption that there is a bunch of stuff in them that is obtuse for no reason.
Yes.
Or because of bad translation or whatever. And when they come at the game with that attitude, they see a lot of things that aren't actually obtuse as being more obtuse than they are. Because if you're coming into it expecting that, you'll find it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay.
And they don't read the
Yeah, that's a thing, yeah.
I have a bit of a problem. Sometimes I argue about it on the internet about the idea of blind playing NES games and how some people think that means never looking at the manual. And I don't know, I feel like people thought that we were all masochists in the 80s or something. Like, often I didn't have a manual. I never had a manual for this game because I rented it. But the games I owned, I had manuals and I read them. And they were very helpful.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely like okay to read the manual for like a blind playthrough, and like I don't know if you're really experiencing the game, like I think it's a little harsh to judge something like just because you like don't. Well, that's unfair. Like I don't know. I feel like using manuals is like perfectly valid for playing blind games.
Yeah. We should say something about Dark Death Mountain here, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful that this game works if you never get the candle.
Yeah.
It's
like I just went through 3 bats there without taking any damage.
Yeah. Like, there a lot of games at the time, I think, would have put a hard gate, and today, absolutely, would have put a hard gate on here. Some person at the entrance who's like, you can't go in here until you have the candle or whatever. And while this isn't, in my opinion, a Metroidvania, even if Twitch disagrees, that is an element of sort of similar to that kind of design philosophy where you don't absolutely have to get every item in this game. You have to get most of them, but and Eon can see a lot of the enemies on the ground. You can see their feet just barely. And Eon also just despawned an enemy.
Oh wow, nice.
There's a couple rooms here in Death Mountain where if you leave them and come back in, it causes one of the enemies to despawn. And the reasons for that are actually not well known. Like, we don't actually entirely know why that happens.
I know that it has something to do with the X coordinate that they are placed on, but I don't know anything further than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just because we left the room and came back in.
Yeah, and I have enough for a Death Abuse, so I'm gonna take a Death Abuse in this room.
We're about to do it again. That little turnaround was Eon doing that again.
Ah, oh.
Okay. Okay, that Mew's going left. There's a small enemy there that's real hard to see, and you definitely don't want to get knocked into the lava by it, so... I think I have one Megmat left alive. Got it, okay. So this is really the hardest part of the run. Shoot, I did not want to take that hit. Okay, we're fine. Go ahead and go jump. So, gonna get this magic container, and we are done with Death Mountain.
Yay! Nice.
So now, gonna do a little bit more fetch questing, and then we'll start tackling palaces.
And the whole reason that we did that early is so that we could get what Eon is about to progress to getting, which is the fairy, spell, and downstab. And those will let us skip a whole bunch of keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get very few keys in this run.
Yeah, there's this is like a different category. There's also like an all keys category, which you just have to get all the keys.
Yeah, so you get all of the items, and you're not allowed to ferry through the doors, which requires you to collect all the keys.
Ah.
Okay, so that's an audio cue when you break that boulder to force a back spawn, because the RNG actually resets itself when you do an up A, which was how I was able to do that manipulated walk to the medicine cave earlier. True all keys someday.
So I'm not sure if this is related to what Cloudy said, but is any key allowed for the all keys one? Does that like count as doing that?
Yeah, that's you have to get it.
Any key.
Oh yeah, you said that, yeah.
Not because it's all keys. It does not, but it is. So the full
it is
category.
a key.
The full category title is 100% all keys 1cc. It's not just all keys.
We just call it all keys for short.
But yeah, if you're not ferrying doors, you actually can't finish the game without it anyways, so...
Technically not true, but it requires despawning a door in Palace 3 and not getting the candle, so that you have 2 extra keys, and then you need to do a ceiling walk inside of Palace 6.
When did you write that out?
So there's a category called any % no door ferrying.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yes.
Ah.
And so it turns out it's actually, I think, not faster to do that.
Its world record is an hour 6. So
yeah,
it is. Or
well, so it's not faster to.
That's any % though, yeah.
Yeah, what you do is you skip 2 keys in Palace 5. Okay, so now this is another sort of manipulated walk. It all depends on the boulder break, but I'm going to go into Palace 2, beating things out of order. Oh, that was a good boulder break. Might have been the frame perfect.
Cloudy suggested true all keys, where you get the any key first, so you keep all the keys you get, and I at one point tried to figure out if you could do that, and I think I ran into some kinds of problems with being able to do it even with glitches, but I don't remember what they were.
I made a mistake on that walk. I have ideas for that, but I would need to think through them again.
Wow, yeah, that sounds like it would definitely be interesting to see.
Oh wait, I need experience. So I want to leave this with attack 5. So
Oh, that's a good question from Caleb C in chat. If someone's interested in running this game, is it better to play this normally, or would it be more to play it as if it were a speedrun?
I think that varies a lot. There are definitely people who enjoyed this enough as just like a playthrough. I think playing it completely 100% blind is a pretty unpleasant experience. So I guess it kind of depends on what you think you like about it.
yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I guess if you kind of like the combat, would it be, like, more fun as a speedrun? Because I kind of like the combat, personally.
Yeah.
I think so.
If the combat is what you like, then the fastest way to be good at the combat is to learn the combat, and that is like 80% of learning the speedrun, is just learning combat. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that makes sense.
Okay.
I think there's an argument to be made to maybe try just playing it with some light hints and just see how it goes. But letting your frustration be a guide to how much information you want to pull in from the speedrun. This category in particular, 100% no major glitches, was created specifically for the purpose of being an easier for beginner category to play. It may not seem like that because of how Eon is playing it. You don't have to do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, there are easier routes for this category.
Yeah. It was...
Oh, Red Jar. Was hoping for a P bag there. Oops. Actually gonna... That is important to do that if I don't get any drops.
What I'm really curious about is if Cloudy Shoe has forgiven me for suggesting that he play the FDS version first.
Oh, I guess why is that something that he'd be mad about?
So there are benefits to the FDS version. The leveling is much kinder overall, but if you game over, all your levels go down to the lowest level that you have.
Oh!
Which is an encouragement to even your leveling. And again, because there is no
oh good, got the
because there is no difference between the levels, the types of levels, as to like how much they cost.
Oh, actually.
There is not really much reason not to evenly do it unless you're speedrunning.
Okay. So, got the experience I need. I don't actually need to fight anything else. And here we learn that Iron Knuckles are afraid of fairies.
Oh yeah, wow.
And here's Helmet Head.
That only happens if you're jumping when you cast Fairy, to be clear.
Yes.
Don't go casting Fairy and expecting them to run away from you, because they will not do that unless you're jumping when you do it.
Kind of messed up that fight a little bit.
So the downside of the FDS version is that most of the enemies are a little bit harder because they activate a little closer to off the edge of the screen, so they start getting combat-y mode way faster than they do in the NES version. And particularly after about Palace 4, the game itself just gets a little bit harder than the NES version. More enemies, kind of placed in more awkward places, and because they're more fighty, it adds up really quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
But on the plus side, you can get up to level 8 attack by about the time you're getting into Death Mountain, if you only take attack levels, mostly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then if you game over, you lose it all.
Yeah, that's the thing about that.
So this is
So
a fun.
since we're talking about how the combat's cool, I guess if like I'd recommend checking out various ROM hacks of this. I know that Eon's been working on some.
Yeah. So I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I'm currently working on a ROM hack that will be hopefully released next year. And we did earlier this year a Game Jam style ROM hacking competition that Meg and I both participated in, where we made smaller hacks, although Meg's was quite a bit bigger than mine. But
Yeah, but mine was all pieces of the vanilla game.
true.
Mine was literally a rearranged kind of thing. Yours is much more original.
I'm definitely interested in checking y'all's hacks out now that I've played the vanilla game a lot.
Yeah. So forgetting how I do this, I need to actually take a death abuse here, because magic is real tight in this palace, the way that I run it, so I actually needed to die there, actually, so that I would have enough magic to cast Fairy through another door, because these are out of the way in this palace.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's like Fairy's like almost all of your magic bar right now. So yeah, I can see that.
Yes. Okay, Fairy is queued up.
Oh, that was a nice. The bear did like a jump over the fairies. That was convenient.
Yeah, that's a real fun skip. And here's Helmet Head, or Horse Head. And that was Horse Head. He kind of walked off
Nice.
screen, otherwise it would have been even faster. So, and then coming up here real soon, we're actually gonna have the first glitch that we try to do in this category. So.
Oh yeah, as Cloudy mentioned, in the FDS version, Dark Link is also considerably harder.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There is... oh,
Okay, I want to take attack. Want to make sure I don't soft lock here.
yeah, I was just about to say.
Okay, so I skipped that encounter. If you want to explain that, Meg.
Sure. So that's, we call that Fairy Feet, and we call it that because someone found it while they were playing the game with their feet. And the trick is that so when you move the fairy, you can move the fairy by 1 pixel. You can't really move Link by 1 pixel. When Link moves, he tends to move a little more than a pixel. Not quite to, I don't think. But it basically makes it impossible to line yourself up perfectly against the edge of the screen. But with the fairy, you can line yourself up on an exact pixel, and there happens to be one pixel on the edge of the screen on either end that is treated as off the edge of the screen without actually pushing you out of the screen. So you can inch your way over there with the fairy, and then you'll be able to press right instead of left, and pressing right will push you up against the barrier of the edge of the screen, and it will make you exit the encounter, but because you were holding right, it believes you exited the encounter on the right instead of on the left. It's kind of strange that that's a thing because of how some of the other wrong warpy glitches work, but it's something peculiar to double-ended encounters, spike encounters on the overworld. I never remember who it was who found that trick.
I believe it was Crystal Saber.
Right. And that is how Saber's already in 9.
Yes. One of the few keys we actually pick up is that one right there. Yeah. I think I can skip that P bag. Or no, I want it. Trying to remember my XP route in here. So that's good. I'm gonna queue up jump.
But kind of back on the subject of how to like experience this game for the first time, and if you do want to go at it from a speedrunning perspective, why this category is probably where you want to start, which wasn't something that we considered when we decided that this was what you were going to do tonight, but I think is actually really good that you did, is that basically any playthrough of the game that finishes the game and gets all the items is a valid run for this category. Which is not true of the more popular all keys category.
Yes.
Because you can't game over in that category. Lives are very precious.
Flag key grab.
Nice.
Nice.
So, if you do want to like try this game and you want to speedrun it, like try to speedrun it, try to learn it from a speedrunning perspective, which is how I did, to be clear. Although not with this category. I made other choices that Eon disagrees with.
Oh. Well.
But I think learning this game by
Magic
speedrun.
Pixel.
Oh, nice. Learning this game by speedrun, I think, is a great way to learn it. If you're so inclined, and it will skip a lot of the frustration of the game. You might miss out on some of the like actually good things about the game that people don't really ever notice if they never play it casually. But yeah, I learned this game with any percent, and that is a choice.
Oh wow!
It took me several months to beat the game for the first time doing that. And I was then very bad at the other categories because I had never really done any of the actual combat. Except Dara's. I knew how to fight Dara's. That's literally all I knew how to fight.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, Dara's and Lizalfos.
Right.
In any percent, you glitch or skip past literally every other enemy in the game. Pretty much.
Wow.
Okay, so now we are done with the Western continent. which is nice. We're headed to the east. And
So once these thing also means like no up A, right?
correct, yeah. You cannot game over, you cannot up A.
Yeah. But it's cool that there's like an energy category that you can do that in.
My count is at 2. I gotta remember my small enemy drop count now.
Cloudy raises a good point that you don't really fight Lizalfos in literally any other category.
That's true. RBO, you fight a couple of them, but
Yeah. And they actually technically aren't called Lizalfos in this game, I think. They have a different name.
Geru, I think, or
Yeah.
Jeru. Yeah.
But they're very clearly Lizalfos.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
time to Dazzle Walk.
Dazzle us with your walk-on.
Yeah, it's actually named after a speedrunner, ZZ Dazzle ZZ, who discovered this walk, so... Three. So what I'm doing is trying to set up... Actually, I don't know why I did that, because I was gonna fairy feet. Okay, whatever. My drop's at 3. I just need to track my small drop count for... a drop in Palace 4, so...
I'm with Cloudy that all Z2 walks are cursed.
Yeah.
That is another thing about this category, is that there are fewer walks in this than there are in all keys. And a lot more of them are kind of scripted, or at least relatively predictable, because they are right after an up A, which is the only point in the game where the RNG resets.
Oh.
Yeah, so after an up A, you know exactly what the RNG state is, which means it's a lot easier to manipulate overworld stuff. Although we do have some minor manipulations. You'll see, as I'm leaving this town, I'm gonna read a sign for 3 characters, hopefully. And that does some stuff with the state that the overworld spawns are in, where they either random walk or home in on Link, and I want them to home in on me for an encounter skip. And that's due to the amount of time that you spend on the last screen before exiting to the overworld. So I also might do some sword stabs before leaving a screen, and that's exactly why I'm doing it, is to manipulate the behavior of the spawns. Ow. I'm at 3. 4. Okay. So here. Okay. That behaved oddly. Okay. Thought I was 1 tile off of that walk, but it turns out I was on it, so nice. Okay. So now gotta get the magic container here. My drop should be at 4, which is good. That's ideal at this point, actually.
So, we have a comment in chat that this game does not feel like Zelda, but I mean, keep in mind, when this game came out, there were 2 Zelda games, and this was half of them. So...
Yeah, they really hadn't settled on the Zelda formula yet at this point, I would say.
Yeah. And I think this was probably a pretty good direction to take, even though they didn't like to stick with it. I feel like it's really fun and a pretty cool evolution. Like, I feel like the combat was really improved. Like, there's more variety in it.
Yeah, the combat is super good. Actually, I want to take some damage here. Oh, shoot. Okay, I've lost my timing there. Okay, that's fine. I need to take a death on this screen to refill magic. There we go. A little bit slow.
And also, I guess something that's
I was just gonna say this next enemy here is where I wanted my drop. I want a blue jar, and I got it. So that saves the death abuse.
So I was just gonna mention, like, the levels, the magic levels, like, you might think they increase your magic, but I think all they do is, like, make the spells cost less XP, and they don't do it for every spell at the same rate, so...
Right.
So that's kind of a different mechanic some of the games.
Yep. That was an intentional death to refill magic. And now we've got enough XP for this boss, or for this, to get the attack 8 off of the gem. There we go. Okay.
So I'm not super familiar with the Falcom developers library. I know Ys, and I think that the Ys games that feel like Zelda 2, it's kind of the other way around, that they feel like this game, because a lot of games actually, there were a bunch of games that took a lot of inspiration from this game, just none of them made by Nintendo. Though very few of them get the good parts of this game. And the lives are an odd thing for sure, and they come odd in this game because they're not in any other Zelda game, and they're not in RPGs usually, not in side-scrolling adventure games. That is actually probably one of the most unique things about this game, and I cannot defend it. I don't think it fits. It doesn't really work particularly well. It was an experiment that they tried, and it maybe didn't work out very well.
Yeah. I guess that was also a project of how this game was designed. Like, almost all the games, like, a very high amount of games had lives, and they wanted to make this kind of, I guess, more of an RPG platformer, so that was kind of just the thing that platform had at this time. Oh yeah, the life counter not being in the HUD is kind of, it kind of nice in the HUD, but it is in the menu, but that's a little harder to see.
More annoyingly, the number in the HUD is one off from the game over screen, and it's actually kind of confusing sometimes how many lives you have, especially... honestly, even now, when I play this game, I sometimes get confused about how many lives I actually have.
Yeah...
Gonna try the eco key. I haven't practiced it, so I probably will miss it, but So it's a precise damage boost coming up on the next screen. You're supposed to fairy over it. Oh, got it.
Yay, nice!
That saves a bit of time. It saves about 12 seconds when you're comparing to 100% all keys.
Ah, cool.
But there are other options you can do in this category that make it the amount of time it saves is harder to determine.
Oh,
This is a real annoying room in all keys, but we just skip the key.
We do a lot of that in this category.
Yes. That's one of the few that you actually see on screen that you don't get, though.
Yeah.
ah.
That's interesting. I haven't played Xanadu. I have at least briefly played Faxanadu. Speaking of games that are confusing and hard to tell what to do. So I don't have any specific frame of reference for how Xanadu in particular feels like this game. I don't know if you, Garby or Jan, have
Why did I do that?
experience with it.
I do not.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't played that in any. Yeah, I've definitely heard that Legacy of the Wizard is definitely like a thing. To figure out what to do.
Yeah, I've seen some people playing that game and I had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
So the good news is I already have all of the experience I need.
Oh, yeah.
I know you can just walk under that. I'm like... Okay, this is getting a little bit scary now.
What's head is in our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, another thing to call out as a difference between the Japanese version and this one. The blue iron knuckle down there in the Japanese version was actually a horse head refight. And the boss of this palace in the FDS version is not Guma as we know in the US version, but a refight of Helmet Head.
That's much more, has a lot higher health too, so...
But is still quite a lot easier than Guma.
Yes, well it's fighting Helmet Head, the second Helmet Head with attack 8 is actually the same fight that the All Keys speedrun does at attack 5.
Yeah.
So... Alright, so... Coming up on another little fetch quest section. So an interesting thing, I actually didn't want to get too much experience in there because if I can hold off on my level ups until I'm in town, it saves time because the level up fanfare is shorter. So.
Cool.
And I'm gonna take 5 level ups, so it'll play the fanfare a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah, the music data for the fanfare is different in towns for some reason, and it just plays a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's the same fanfare that plays when you get a spell or pick up an item in Hidden Kasuto. So. But now I'm not super underleveled on life and magic.
Nice.
Only kind of. Right, and then coming up here, I'm going to try to do... As I'm leaving town, I'm going to read the sign again to set up the overworld manipulation. And I'm going to try to do a real tough encounter skip, so... I was just a little bit slow. Okay. What I needed to do was move past that enemy below me, and then it would follow me down to take the encounter over this tile.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very small frame window to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang it. Did not get a favorable spawn for
That
avoiding an encounter there.
was definitely a rough pattern.
Aw.
He jumped over both fires. That's mean.
Oh no. So yeah, this fire spell lets you destroy a few enemies that you normally couldn't destroy. So like the shell enemies you can't destroy unless you have fire generally.
Which is another thing that
tech type.
changed in the
Yeah.
US version. Fire is even more useless in the Japanese version.
Fire is perfectly useful. I will be showing off fire strats. Thank you very much.
Maybe that was all a ploy to get you to do that.
I was planning on doing it anyway. Okay, so spell. Oh, I'll show off a neat little thing here that doesn't actually save much time. In the US version, it will save time in the FDS version though. Instead of walking out to the left, you can ferry up through the top there.
Out of bounds! Out of bounds!
It's not out of bounds.
Just rehashing some old arguments here.
Yes, don't worry.
Oh no, wrong.
It is not a wrong warp. That exit is defined to be out of the house.
And the exit of a screen is a two-way encounter screen is defined to be the exit in the direction of the D-pad that you're pressing. So fairy feet isn't out of bounds or a wrong warp.
I mean, yeah.
This argument that we're alluding to is actually the argument that kind of led to this category being named what it is.
Yes.
The no major glitches categories. There used to only be any % no major glitches, but it was called any % no out of bounds.
Before fairy feet.
Before fairy feet. And there was a massive argument about whether fairy feet counted as an out of bounds or not, among other things, and it created this very long, very complicated argument about what to call, or how to define categories, and it eventually led to the creation of the, not only renaming any % no out of bounds to any % no major glitches with an arbitrary list of glitches that are allowed. But also the category extension boards kind of came out of that argument as well.
I'll do my best, Cloudy Shoe.
So now you're gonna get to see how I was doing, except in a speed run, and yeah, and with Dion actually knowing what she's doing.
I hope she knows what she's doing.
I hope I do too. Okay, so I'm going to show off what I do here, which is not the damage boost. So, I do not like the damage boost. I would rather make that 4-tile jump. Okay, oh, and I can, hopefully I can show off hot strats. There we go. Trap that skull bubble down there. That's hot strats.
It is far more dangerous than it looks.
Yes.
You do not want to fall down there. So that statue check, you can actually also do that statue check from the right edge of the screen. The statue is just reachable from like the very corner of the right edge of the screen, even as a wrap around to the left edge of the screen. So as a beginner strat, it's actually possible to kind of like do repeated checks of it really quickly. By just doing them against the right edge of the screen and not walking any further into the room.
Nice.
So, looks like I'm doing jumpless strats on Barba, because I'm gonna do fire strats. Ooh, just barely made that jump with my toenails. Oh, and you can do a rail grind here. All you have to do that is downstab as you walk off the edge, and then that's what will happen. You'll break those 2 blocks, you won't fall in, and the skull bubble will get caught on the edge.
Oh, that's cool.
Messed up that jackhammer. Alright, can I... Oh no, that was not a ceiling walk. It's a little early.
I think you have to loop. We have to see a ceiling wall.
Okay, well, that was weird. I was not expecting to jackhammer that first unicorn head over that pit.
Oh.
See, now you really have to go back. You have to go back so that we can get a ceiling walk and hot strats proper.
Okay, fairy is queued up.
That is not going to happen because lives are precious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in this category versus all keys, you kind of get to treat lives as pretty disposable for the first half. Except if you're going full on and Palace 1 and doing all the death abuses, you actually come out of it with only one life. Only the life you're on, actually. But once you're over in the Eastern Continent, it starts getting more and more expensive to get back to where you were. There's no good shortcuts to the southeastern part of the Eastern Continent, so lives become a lot more precious and you don't want to die as much.
Okay, let's see if I can do the sideways jackhammer.
But then, once you're in GP, the last palace, you can die as much as you want. Because game over there actually takes you back to the beginning of the palace, unlike every other part of the game.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. My timing was bad. There we go. Didn't die, though. 2 cycle.
Nice, GG.
Thanks.
Oh, another name for that boss is Danger Noodle, by the way. There's someone who would be mad at me if I didn't mention that.
Oh, also, Fairy Dash is coming up. That's the Fairy Dash. It's normally you would have jump cast, and so it's really kind of difficult to make your way out of that screen without bonking on the wall, and so the fairy is a slightly safer way to get out optimally.
It saves you at least 3 minutes, right?
I think it's a wash because you have to re-queue up the fairy spell.
And especially there, because you didn't cast jump.
Yes.
So,
Most powerful
yeah.
magic. Alright, so we got all the spells, we've got all of the things. Now we just have to make our way to Great Palace, so...
Oh, something that doesn't get mentioned a lot about queuing up spells, actually. Took me a long time into speedrunning the game to know that this was a thing. A lot of the time, speedrunners will queue up a spell at the end of a level while the fanfare is playing. And that is literally because it is basically free to do so there. You can't do anything else. It doesn't stop the fanfare from going. And yeah, it's the only time it doesn't cost you time to queue up a spell.
So that was an encounter skip there, I think, right?
Yes, that was... And I'll be doing lots of encounter skips here. In Valley of Death, because you do not want to do these encounters.
Yeah, you never do any of the forced encounters in the speedrun in Valley of Death. They are mean.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, come on, jerks.
I am not aware of any other Zelda game having a Valley of Death. I mean, there are similar end of the game areas that are distinct from Death Mountain, which is the usual lava-y area in a Zelda game. But none that are explicitly called Valley of Death that I know of.
Yeah.
And yeah, another strategy through those encounters is to cast spell and turn all the enemies into bots and just go over them.
Oh.
So, yeah, you can up A at Great Palace entrance and continue on here, which is real nice.
Ah, that's cool.
The randomizer makes that true of all palaces. It's definitely one of the bigger quality of life changes that it makes to the game.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Also, most hacks will do that, usually.
Yeah. Oh, that was a real nice spicy chicken. That's the community name for those enemies.
Yeah, the music in this game is also really good.
Jump, please. Jump, thank you. Right, I was thinking of how you do this room glitched, not how you do it normal. Shoot.
And here we have Garbitheglitcheress. Who is one of the most obnoxious enemies in Grand Palace, or Great Palace. Especially in any percent. That was the second big roadblock in learning any percent when I learned this game.
Yes, that room is very rude.
Oh, wow. Oh no, that scary orb.
Yeah, that's okay, thank you for jumping out of the way.
Yeah, the King Skull Bubbles are...
3, or no, is it 2 or 3 fast-moving skull bubble,
3,
smaller one? Yeah.
Yeah, 3. If you kill them, if you kill the big one, 3 smaller, really, 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 really fast skull bubbles will come out.
Oh. There we go. So I actually did this. I only used that one jump cast, which is not how most people play this, but I like to do it that way because then I can skip a death abuse. Normally, you would refill life and magic by falling in the lava there. I'm gonna just go. And now here we are at Thunderbird. So that was the Thunderbird fight. Not quite a 1 cycle. And here is the Dark Link fight. Time stops after I kill Dark Link and Link stops walking to the right, so I'll call time. Oh, come on. And time.
GG.
Thanks.
108.05.
Yeah, so for a pretty rusty attempt, that's pretty good, I would say. It's just under 3 minutes behind my PB, so...
Yeah, that was a good run. I think we were going to show off Healer Glitch as a last thing, right?
Yeah. So I had a thought, do you just want me to show off Healer Glitch, or if we let these credits go, I could do a New Game Plus run.
Ooh. That sounds cool.
Which is like 10 minutes, depending on encounter luck.
Huh.
And Healer Glitch accuracy.
That sounds like a cool run. Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay. So I'll let the credits roll out because I have to actually do that to get the New Game Plus file. And I hope I remember the route.
I don't think I've ever actually seen like a New Game Plus run, so this would be cool to see.
The full name is New Game Plus Yes Hammer. Okay, Cloudy Shoe. Alluding to, there is a category that I sort of pioneered on the category extensions board called New Game Plus No Hammer, which is the only category that you don't get the hammer in, and that's why I wanted to create it. And here we have Thanks a Million, so push start to replay. So you push start there. I never knew this as a kid, but you push start there, and then you get a Triforce next to your name. You have all your levels, and you can do a New Game Plus run of this. And apparently you take 13, or you use 13 credits to do 100% run. Today I learned. So going to go ahead and just get started. Do you want me to count down the timer again?
I know when time starts, so I can just start the timer.
Sure. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is what we call the Healer Glitch, and I'm going to let Meg explain it because she's good at that and I can concentrate.
All right. Okay, so Healer Glitch is a really weird trick. It is a double frame perfect input where you are trying to talk to the healer on 2 particular frames, subframes even. You can't actually see the difference between the 2 frames around them. The first one looked like what Eon just did, where the nose is lined up with the window. There's a couple other visual references. And the second one is the last pixel before going in the door. And
I got the first one on the right frame, but could not get the second one.
The second one, if you miss it just barely, it will actually cause this, where the healer bounces back and forth. And then you get more chances to get the healer to come back in the door. If you do both exactly right...
you do this.
Yes.
I'm a little bit
Nice.
rusty, but now I gotta count to 5 door entries, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, good. We did it. That's the hardest trick.
Yep. So what happened there was that the healer walked off to the left into a door that doesn't exist, leaving the door open for Link to go into for some reason. And that is a door you're not supposed to be able to go into. The screen, that particular screen, has uninitialized data for where that's supposed to take you, and it takes you to what we call Glitch Town, which is just an unused town map that's at the beginning of the section of data for towns. And all of its doors are also uninitialized and lead back to Glitch Town. And the end goal of all of this is to overflow a stack that holds what doors you went through. That is only so deep because there's only one spot in the game where you go through more than one layer of door. So once you've gone through a few layers, that stack is overflowed and a bunch of 1s and or 2s get spewed across memory, causing this nonsense.
So we're about to get the hammer, if you remember, or the glove rather, if you remember how long it took me to get the glove before.
Yep.
Just under 3 minutes, we got the glove.
Yeah, we just walk in after wrong warping. So we also wrong warped over to the grave, King's Tomb, which in data is connected to the first town. I believe that you may have noticed that some towns in this game have 3 screens and other towns have 2. I believe that Shield Town's 3rd screen is used for the King's Tomb.
Yes.
And that is why that wrong warp happens. We're basically exiting as if we exited the King's Tomb because that's where the game thinks we are or something. I'm actually not super clear on how that works.
Yeah, I don't exactly know either, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, we used that wrong warp. We're going to use it as a wrong warp again. We are actually wrong warping several times here through Death Mountain. This is not... It looks a lot like the normal path through, but it is not identical. There's a couple skipped caves.
Alright, I gotta get the glove, I forgot, shoot, right, okay. I gotta remember how all this works. I have not done this in a long time, so...
Yeah,
taking some damage is fine. Enemies are gonna spawn behind me, which is nice.
yeah, that's one of the effects of this glitch, is that enemies spawn behind you.
Ah.
I think I'm gonna actually just do that there. Okay, I have fairy queued up. I don't remember where all of the ground is that's actually safe to walk on, so I'm just gonna do that. And fly over it all. I'm gonna queue that up again. I'm gonna take another death after I get the hammer. Okay. There we go.
So if you get overed, you just have to redo all this, right?
Yes.
Redo like the healer glitch and stuff.
Yeah.
The healer glitch does not preserve across game overs except in Grand Palace. It does preserve there.
Oh, that's...
And we're in Maze Island.
Nice.
So, Maze Island and Death Mountain have copies of each other in their map data. This is likely because I think Eon suggested this. I have no evidence of this personally, but that on the Famicom Disk System version, they are actually in the same data pack that's loaded from the disk.
Yes. That's my understanding anyway.
Yeah. So when they ported it over, they split them up for some reason, but they left the copies in each other. So where Eon was just then was actually not the Maze Island. It was actually a copy of Maze Island in Death Mountain. In my my little ROM hack for the hack jam that happened earlier this year, I kind of nodded to that by actually having you walk from the Death Mountain area to what's left of Maze Island, like a flooded Maze Island, which was
Oh shoot! I'm doing the wrong thing. I went the wrong way.
Oops.
Just gonna up A again.
Yeah, and suddenly we're in Great Palace.
Yeah, and so now we're gonna warp our way through it.
Yep.
Hope I remember all the visual cues, because
So
I've been doing this a lot with reverse boss order, where I actually use a different variation on scroll lock,
yeah,
and it has different visual cues and different behaviors around enemy spawning.
particularly that one lava pit near the end.
Yes.
I remember having to learn very specifically when I learned 100% back in the day that was in a different spot than in any percent.
Yes.
So this is how I experienced Grand Palace the first time I beat the game and played the game through. I think it's better this way. You fight a lot fewer enemies. Mostly they spawn behind you, especially with this scroll lock setup. These ones can still get you sometimes, but
If you have a good visual cue, it's very rare that they do, though. So.
yeah. It's one of the more awkward visual cues to learn, though, in my opinion. And we are also going to skip Thunderbird as well. You may have noticed it. Well, I guess Eon has Thunder Spell, so we could fight Thunderbird.
I could, yeah.
But there is no need to. When you glitch the game, you do not need to fight Thunderbird.
Oh, come on. That I turned around, I swear.
Ah.
I actually find it really weird to watch RBO because of the fact that it's glitched and you fight Thunderbird. My brain just does not like that at all. Wow, Scott Bicula's being a real jerk today.
Yeah,
Wow.
But-
yeah.
we did it. So
Yeah.
So yeah, this lava pit coming up, that little red mark kind of is what the visual cue is for where to jump over that lava pit. And it's different in categories that use a different healer glitch setup, which is what doors you go through. So Eon went through the first door 5 times. The other pattern that's commonly used is to go through the first door and then the second door, and then the first door another 3 times.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a death abuse right here to refill magic. Queuing up the jump spell.
So also, one of the reasons that any percent works is because Dark Link doesn't care what attack level you are. It's always the same number of hits, no matter what your attack level is. And here we go, we're doing Thunderbird Skip. This is a HUD Fairy. Twice. And HUD Fairies basically move you into the room, in palaces, move you into the room below you with some...
Caveats.
Caveats,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. In there, the second one actually moved me to the room to the right because I was on the rightmost screen of the room. So.
Yeah. But most of the time people use them, it's to go down a room. Although really most of the uses of it are this in particular.
And time.
Oh, right.
GG.
11:51 or so, probably.
Yeah, that's what I got. So. Which I was just a little bit over a minute slower than my PB, so
Nice.
not bad for really not having practiced this category in probably 2 years. So.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what that's the shortest speedrun category we have, and turns out the any percent run is not even twice that long. It's the world record is like 17 minutes and 56 seconds, 58 seconds, something like that. So yeah, turns out old games are fun, especially when you break them.
So for me, the glitchy runs were what made me love this game. As I said before, I did not like this game when I was a kid, and I did not like it through my adulthood. It wasn't until I saw a couple of people playing really glitched runs of it, including Eon and Squibbins, that I started to really get into the game. And that's why I started with any percent, but it's probably a bad idea.
I mean, I think there are some other people who are following suit now. That you're not the only person who's done that. But yeah, I would generally, if that's the way you really want to do it, go for it. But I would caution you that you might have more fun not dying to, not spending hours learning Healer Glitch and then spending many more hours dying to a red Dyra on a bridge with bubbles.
It was fun though.
Fair.
Alright. Thanks a million.
Thanks a million.
So, you want to wrap up, Garby?
Yeah, that was Zelda 2. Thank you so much, Eon and Meg for being on and Eon for playing. It was so much fun. And
Thanks for having me. I was happy to do it. So
yeah, and so before I stop, before we get off, I'll like do some announcements. Like for the game of the month, we'll be doing Sea of Solitude this Sunday, and I think Rubash will be playing it. So be sure to check that out this Sunday, and I'll also start doing Unloved Games twice a month. I'm going to be doing that the first and third Thursday of every month, and in 2 weeks from today, I'll be taking a look at Sonic Labyrinth and Sonic R. So that'll be a lot of fun. So be sure to check that out as well. And we'll be rating Kate Lib C now. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching.